on, guys? Big Troy backstage, the Rockstar Energy Drink Mayhem Festival 2011. Sitting with Matt Heafy from Trivium, and you guys see it. In Waves, the new album in stores now. Guys definitely need to pick this up. Your third album? Fifth. Third with Roadrunner, though, right? I'm behind on all my stuff.
It's all good, man. It's the heat.
It is. Well, all I know is this is your second Mayhem that you played, right?
Yes.
You played here last year on...
2 years ago. The heat will do that to the numbers. I'm sorry, man. I don't sound like I know it all, but I'm just trying to fact check.
I'm glad you remember all this.
Yeah.
I think I was a little intoxicated from that.
It's all good. It's all good.
The new album, a lot of new melodies in this. Very different from the last couple of albums, and it may surprise some people. Some of the album's bigger songs. The three main that we've been playing, In Waves, the title track, Black, and Built to Fall, all just very different in their sound, but I think you've really shown a real maturity with this album, and I think this is going to be your seminal album.
Thank you very much.
Of a lot of others. Tell me a bit about what went into it.
About 3 years before the recording process of the record, we knew we wanted to have a record that entirely went with itself, that all the visuals went with all the music and everything matched together. About 2 years before the actual recording process, we started writing the music. At one point, we had about 40 songs written. We had to pick what we felt were the best of the record. And about a year before the recording process itself, we started the visual process. For this record, we had 5 visual artists, 3 production team people, and the 4 of us. There were 12 people over the span of 3.5 years working on this record.
So when you guys sat down with those 40 tracks, and you had it all laid out before you, how can you really go through that much when you put that much time into approaching an album and getting all this material together? You poured all your heart and soul into it. How do you narrow things down to 12 or 13 tracks?
You just know. You know which ones are the best, and that was what was hard, because everything that we were writing was of quality, and that's why, you know, the special edition, normally when there's a special edition, there's quote B-sides at the end.
Right.
But this one, these songs are meant to be in the middle. That's why with our special edition, there's songs that are actually inside of the track list that are helping the flow of the whole record go. It's about the fact that every single song showcases what this record is, but we knew that to make a standard edition, to get to the point of this record, that's why it's something hard on this one.
Well, you have a lot of tracks in the can, so to speak, from the ones that didn't make it onto here or the special edition, and probably from previous albums. Have you ever thought about releasing kind of a Trivium vault record?
No, not really. I mean, we've talked about it a couple times. We're like, you know what, every time we're going to release something, we're going to try to make the absolute best things we can. If it couldn't make it once, it's not going to be forever.
Just kind of something that just stays on the back burner or just locked away?
Yeah, it's just done.
Who knows, you might, somewhere down the road, recycle a melody from one of those? Or...
Yeah, I mean, some of these songs have some parts from other songs. But yeah, that'll happen sometimes. It's pretty rare.
When you sit down and write a song, do you go lyrics first and then music, or music first and then fit the lyrics to the music?
With everything that we've done, it's always been music first. With the exception of the song Leaving This World Behind Me, it's the kind of instrumental track. I had 2 different sets of lyrics written for 2 different songs that never happened, and I put them on top of the music. So it's typically music first.
When you sit down to write lyrically, what inspires you?
With this record, here's the long answer, the short answer. Every single thing about this record, because it's so in-depth visually, you know, all the music videos that have no performance, they're all a mini story that will hopefully span 3 to 5 to 10 parts long. The album art, everything about this record is all up for interpretation. We really want to put the imagination back in the mind of the listener. So that way, when people come into it, they aren't told what they're supposed to feel or what they're supposed to think, but they can make up their own minds and discover it themselves.
Who was your biggest influence growing up that made you really want to get into music?
I picked up guitar and tried out for a pop-punk band when I was like 10, and I was so bad I didn't make it in the band. I got into Metallica, I was 11, tried out for Trivium when I was 12. So Black Album is what got me into wanting to try out for Trivium. So I've been in the same band since '99. And then for this record, the big inspirations were film directors, guys like David Lynch, Lars von Trier, Paul Thomas Anderson, Christopher Nolan. Those are the guys that really drove the point home, because I get really inspired by things I don't understand that I can't make.
Right.
So I cannot make visual art, but visual art is what inspires me to want to make auditory art.
Ever thought about doing something based on like Stanley Kubrick's work?
I think for us it's always like taking the influence of that stuff and trying to make our own. So I'm not sure if you've seen the In Waves video yet. You have to see it. It's all storyline. It's like 7.5 minutes long. We did one day, it was 10 hours of us underwater, like attached with dive weights to the bottom of a pool to pull off this thing. And so it's gonna be like a 10 video storyline movie thing.
Really cool.
Yeah,
I mean,
you gotta watch it.
When I guess approaching this album, you really thought ahead, like 2 years down the road, what you're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, it took 12 people to make this thing happen. So, and the next video we're shooting is for Built to Fall, and it is directly the consecutive part directly after In Waves.
So you'll go with In Waves, Built to Fall, then probably
Black.
And
then we're not sure where else to go from there, but Yesterday's will definitely be one as well.
Capsizing the Sea is another great track, just to start things off.
And all that, Capsizing the Sea and Snare the Sun, which is the B-side interlude, or not a B-side, sorry, special edition interlude, and then Leaving the World Behind were all made with real instruments. Capsizing the Sea was played with broken pianos, flipped over kick drums for the war drums, real snare drums, stick things. In Snare the Sun, we used everything from fire extinguishers being hit with screwdrivers to cardboard tubes, played like didgeridoos, and like a Middle Eastern sounding chant.
So you basically approach this as a complete experimental album to really expand on what Trivium can do.
Exactly.
Oh, I gotta say, it worked.
Cool, man.
Guys, go out, pick it up. In Waves, in stores now from Trivium. Check them out on the Mayhem tour when they come to your town.